All right, for shoulder press, a question that was asked is how do you keep the bar straight going from the starting position, to the end position. So what's happening, what I see many of us doing is going forward and then up, forward then up, and you're not going to be able to lift as heavy if you do that because you're taking it from the path of least resistance, which is straight up, and you could possibly create shoulder problems by doing that, especially at the heavier weights. So you want to optimize the path by going straight up and down. So there's a few nuances that goes with this particular technique, the overhead press. It's one of the most technical lifts, and what you want to think about again is, first of all, engaging your core. When you're doing this lift, you want to engage everything, and even your butt and your legs. So when you're doing this whole movement, you can't see it unfortunately, but you could feel it. You want to squeeze everything. So right now, when I do it, I'm squeezing my butt, my quads, and my core, and that whole breathe and break. So when you're pushing it, everything will be solid. If there's any kind of weakness here or looseness, that can definitely affect the bar path, especially at the heavier weight. And guess what takes the brunt of it when you do that? It's going to be your back. So you have to be very, very careful and make sure you're squeezing everything. There's no what they call energy leaks. You want everything solid from the feet. You're grounding yourself. That's why proper footwear is important. If you don't have the proper footwear, go barefoot or on your socks, and then keep everything tight, okay? Like you're just a solid piece of foundation from the floor all the way up. Okay, the next part is the upper body. So like I've been showing you guys a lot, especially with in the pull-up video, you want to engage this whole section. I'm going to just turn around. You might not be able to hear me, so I'm just going to demo it. You want to engage the whole shoulder and lat, almost like when you see people trying to start a fight, they huff up and walk like this. This is kind of the same thing. So right now, all my lats, it's all engaged. Okay, so even when I'm doing pull-ups, it's not loose, or bench press, it's not loose. I'm actually engaging everything. So I'm just exaggerating the movement. Roll my shoulders back, and then I squeeze down. So even if I'm doing a pull-up, I never relinquish that. Okay, I never let it loose. It's always engaged, this whole thing. Same with the bench. If you watch my video today, I'll explain it. You want everything locked, and then you're pushing. It's not loose. So the same thing with this. This is going to help you. It's not only safer, but you're going to be focusing more on that particular muscle you're working. Okay. The problem, there's a lot of people who have shoulder injuries, and I'm not immune to that. And it's because of bad or lazy technique. So you want to keep that locked. And when you keep it locked, it makes that bar path easier to be straight. So what I do, I'm going to exaggerate the movement so you could see what I mean. Because once you get used to it, you could set up in place. But you want to have this in mind when you're doing it. So rolling your shoulder back, locking it, and with the bar here, and then you push up. So when you lock it in place as well, so say here, if it's loose, you can see how forward my shoulder is? If I start pushing up, naturally it's just going to go in front of me and then back. It's not going to go straight up. But if I am locked in place already, if I roll it and lock it, okay, sorry, let's do it from here. So this is the old position, forward, lazy shoulders. But if I lock it, you see how my fists come to my face? And inevitably, I'm just going to go straight up. It's more natural to do that. The other thing is you want to keep your fists in line as possible. That's going to give you more power. If it's kind of lazy, you're not really in position, it might tend to go forward as well. So you want to have a strong grip. Foundation as well. You don't want it too close because that's going to work more your triceps, and that's a lot more difficult. So you want to just kind of be in this position like a building, just pillars on a building, and it's just going straight up. Okay? Yeah, your elbows might flare out a bit naturally, but you want to keep everything tight as possible. Okay? So what I do when I approach it, so same thing, I am gonna just I'm gonna exaggerate the movement so you can see it. I'll do it the wrong way first, and then I'll do it the proper way. So wrong way. Shit, I feel that in my shoulder already. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna approach it. I'm gonna roll my shoulder back just to be explicit, to show you how it works and lock it in. Then you wanna tuck your chin in. Okay, so there's a couple ways you could do this. You could tuck your chin in. If you don't have a big chin, then you could likely just go up and down. And you're kind of just squeezing your chin into your neck right here. Otherwise, you may have to flip your chin up. So in those tutorial videos, there's two ways that people have been doing it. You may have to flip your chin up and then put your head through the hole after. So you might have to flip it up and then through, okay? I'll try to do both. First way. So here, locking it. So I'm gonna do the second way. The first way I feel like I'm going forward a little bit. So the second way with my chin out of the way. I'll show you from the front. So everything's tight, even my elbows are tight. Rolling my shoulder back. All right, I hope that helps.